Well, welcome back to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2024, showcasing the best of British cheese. I'm Nick Copland from Homage to Fromage, and I'll be moderating this session. And today, we're going to be judging the best Ewes milk hard cheese. And with me to do the judging are two esteemed judges, Steve Fleming and Simon Ferro. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, Steve.
Hi, yeah. So I'm the owner at George and Joseph Cheesemongers in Chapel Alton in Leeds. Been working in that business for about 10 years or so, and in the cheese world for about 12.
Great. And Simon?
Hello, yeah, I'm Simon Ferro. I am shop manager and head cheesemonger at the Courtyard Dairy in Settle, North Yorkshire. Done a few judging bits in the past, World Cheese Awards, British Cheese Awards, but this is the first time doing the virtuals. That's been exciting so far this morning.
Great. Okay, so all I've got to say is really just to sort of say, obviously, we're going to be judging on appearance, aroma, texture, and flavour, with flavour having a 50% boost because it's the most important category. The winner of the cheese with the most points goes forward to the best of category stage, which is going to be on Tuesday, the 14th of May. Before we start, obviously, I'd like to thank Peter's Yard for supplying their fabulous crackers and Butler's Farmhouse Cheeses for sponsoring us. And so I think without further ado, we shall get in there. I'm assuming you've got your cheeses. And I think the first one on our list is F61026.
Ooh.
Right, so
Please.
let's have a look. Right.
Some kind of possibly pecorino style cheese.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okie doke. So just on sort of appearance, first as it comes out of its wrapper, what are your first impressions?
Taste looks nice and close as well, so it's good. Kind of looks like it's got good texture. Nice rind.
Yeah, the rind looks really nice, doesn't it?
A little bit of different molds growing on there. You kind of got blues and a bit of yellow going on, so that's quite nice to have a different rind growth.
Okay. So just on appearance, what do we think as a score for this?
No defects and good rind, so maybe 7, 8.
Oh, I was thinking an 8 on this. Yeah, I think there's nothing
Yeah.
nothing much to really fault on this, really. So nice looking piece of cheese.
It is a fine looking cheese, I have to say. Even over the okay. Righty ho. So next one is aroma. I wanna
Got that kind of classic aroma where kind of sheep's milk has that kind of slight little bit of age to it, so it's almost like it begins more from less sweet to more like caramelly.
Yeah.
Almost.
There's almost a slight sourness to the aroma, but that's a good thing because it's as you say, it's very distinctive and quite a familiar smell.
And what about that rind looks fairly distinctive? Does it have a particular difference between the rind and the paste at all, or is it much of a muchness?
Stronger aroma than the paste, but it's the same aroma, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit more intense, maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe it's those molds that have imparted that flavour into, as the cheese has been developing.
Mm-hmm.
It's clean though. It's got a nice kind of clean smell.
Yeah, clean. Lovely. What sort of a score would you give it on just on aroma?
I think we're in the 8s again.
Yeah.
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 Right. And we're into texture. So if you want to get amongst it.
Very smooth texture. It's a very consistent paste to that cheese.
It is very consistent. Look at that. It just breaks really cleanly.
Yeah, it's got it tears, it kind of like tears very kind of gently. Nice.
Look at that. Just a nice break there.
Mm-hmm.
Quite supple, nice bit of give to it.
Got a good, nice like mouthfeel as well. That texture.
Yeah, that smoothness continues, doesn't it?
Oh, good cheese. I like that kind of bend to it, that texture.
Mm. It looks very satisfying to cut, actually.
Yeah, it's a lovely cut.
Yeah.
Nice and easy, but it holds its shape, holds its texture well. But you don't have to
Bend to it. Ooh, drop
weigh
it.
into it. Mm.
Okay. So in terms of texture, what do we think?
Texture's excellent. Maybe a 9 for texture.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Mm.
I can't really fault it.
I wasn't expecting it to be so nice and kind of that texture. I thought it'd be a bit dry maybe on the inside, or
Yeah, I agree completely. Because yeah, sometimes it can be a bit firm, a bit drier, but that's got nice balance.
really nice.
Okay. And the all-important flavour.
It's got that classic sweetness to it. I'm going to get a bit with the rind as well. You can get those kind of really astringent notes with some sheep's milk cheeses as they age. And I think this one's actually got that nice sweetness, that nice balance.
Yeah, the sweetness is a predominant flavour, and then the sort of savoury notes that back it up, particularly on the rind. But I'm getting very, very, very little in the way of any kind of bitterness and not much acidity either. Very nice experience.
Yeah, I like the texture.
So what do we think for a score for flavour?
I think maybe a 9 again.
I think we're starting with a high point here, aren't we? I think 9.
Oh yeah.
9 it is then. Marvellous.
Those lasting flavours I'm getting now, but I've got nothing in my mouth, are still lingering. And it goes one more to like fudgy butterscotchy notes coming through, which are really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It keeps on giving in a nice, gentle way, doesn't it?
Again, I was expecting it to be like a kind of clean finish and not be lingering as much as
Yeah.
it is.
And that lingering is then drawing me back to want a bit more.
Yeah.
So it's it's keeping me going. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Well, that's that, as you say, the sort of butterscotch, the sort of nutty notes in there. It's really lovely.
That's a big start.
It is.
Now, I believe, Steve, you haven't received Cheese F6 1119.
I haven't. That's right. That's the one that I was missing. So I will have to.
So what we'll do is we'll Simon can talk us through it, and we can observe and make some comment on things like appearance and texture. So, and then we shall allow Simon to fill us in. There we go.
It looks like it's an individual cheese. It's wrapped in that kind of, the modern day Ovaltine, that kind of wax paper rather than actual wax. So more biodegradable will help it to breathe. So maybe a bit of sustainability there with the producer. I don't know. Want to get into it. If you can see that.
Oh, interesting.
A nice kind of natural rind, different colours coming there. Bit of yellow, white, and blue. Doesn't smell like it's a washed cheese, but quite a dry rind, that one. Get rid of that.
Yeah, that looks great. Again, it's that sort of, I think with a whole cheese, it's always good to have something that's just intriguing and makes you want to investigate it.
Yeah.
I feel a bit of a shame that I know has got this and like, ooh. Aroma-wise on the rind, you're just getting that kind of white mold smell again, that kind of almost just like sulphury smell. Maybe that's from the yellow, I don't quite know. But nothing kind of shouting out sheep's milk cheese, but if I cut it. Have a look inside as well. Let you guys have a look inside. So very clean.
Mm.
Okay. Got a couple of irregular holes in there, but looks good.
Lovely.
Much more intense on the nose and on the split there. A little bit sour, maybe similar to like the last one as well. But it jumps out more, almost a bit more cheesy, like that kind of dairy note, buttery, cheesy. You can definitely tell it's sheep's milk from that kind of aroma.
So what do we think? What do we think for appearance then in terms of a score?
I think from here it looks quite striking because you've got that marvelous sort of dried orangey-ish rind on the exterior, and then you're going for that real nice sort of contrast, that bright white on the paste. Yeah, I would be scoring that one fairly highly.
What do you think, Simon?
Give it a strong 8, to be fair. It looks sort of striking cheese.
That's what I had in my mind. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, let's take an 8 for that one. And aroma-wise, Simon, we're down to you.
Aroma's intense, so it's got a really lovely aroma to it. I think the aromas from the rind to the paste are very good as well, as they've got those kind of more earthy, mold-driven aromas to that rind, and that really kind of kick with that sheep's and that sweet and that dairy coming through in the paste.
Sure.
So I'd probably, again, if I'm being honest, good generous 8 again. That's a strong aroma.
Okey-doke. 8 it is. Texture-wise,
I don't know if you guys can see, it's quite firm, but it actually still has that kind of give to it.
the bounce.
Yeah.
Which I quite like in a sheep's milk cheese. You get these aged ones which are really quite dry. Those like kind of aged, this type of cheese, like the previous cheese, has that bit of suppleness to it. It's just a lovely texture. So again, the rind's got that kind of stickiness. The rind looks good, knobbly kind of natural rind. So again, texturally, I have a little taste of it. I do feel a little bit bad though. Got that same kind of bend and snap as well, if you can see there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's breaking the same way as the last one.
The same way, yeah.
Nice.
A bit softer. A little bit softer pace. Maybe a bit more mouth coatingly creamy. Good cheese.
So mouthfeel-wise, it's a nice, soft.
It has got, those slight gritty notes you get to a washed rind. I think maybe washed once or twice, or maybe washed with a brush, I don't know. But you're getting that kind of like real little small crystals coming to it.
Yeah.
And to the texture, it might not always be to someone's palate though. So maybe a 7 for texture.
Yeah. Great. And overall flavour, we have to rely on you for that.
Yep. I think the flavours has got the sweetness. I wouldn't say the flavour is actually as intense as the last cheese. So the aroma is much more intense than the flavour coming from it. I think, you still get the classic kind of sweet notes, the kind of a bit more savoury almost as well. I think that might be coming from that rind.
Sorry to interrupt. Is this the one where you only had one delivery? Okay.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably score it a good 7, 8. I think the
7.5.
Probably 10. Yeah, so we'll go 7.5. I forget me to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a great cheese.
Lovely cheese.
Again, I think the appearance is fantastic on that one.
The appearance and the aroma and the texture, just the flavour could just be a little bit more kind of intense for what that nose is on that cheese. The nose is excellent.
Yeah.
You want like a little bit of a stronger flavour, but it's actually quite mellow. Yeah, nice cheese.
Great.
Sorry, you guys couldn't try it. I feel a little bit.
Now you know, Steve, now you know how I feel the rest of the day.
Yeah, we're missing cheese every second, so you're the lucky ones.
Yeah. Excellent, lovely. And then we come to, there's only 3 in this class, so we're coming to the last of those, which is F61183.
3, yeah. There we have it.
Right, let's have a look.
Looks like it's got some kind of saffron fronds or some kind of different flowers on the rind.
Yeah, there's something there, isn't there?
Quite well cleaned from my piece.
Yeah, same here. Quite tight, nice and tight in the cling. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's interesting on the rind there. You can see that.
Oh yeah.
Flowers.
There's a wonderful pattern on there, and that's extending all the way around.
Like
there.
get a good photo of that one.
Yeah. Nice looking cheese.
Very nice.
And again, on a board, that would look very striking.
Yeah.
It's two other things. It's
Yeah,
certainly
it would be attractive to that, wouldn't they?
yeah. Draws
You know,
them out.
it's definitely flowers, isn't it?
Mhm.
You think it's been a cheese that's been made and then have the flowers patted on, or
If it has, I think they might have put them on at a fairly early stage because they're quite well embedded, aren't they?
yeah,
You know, you get some of these where the flowers are added on the moment you try and
fall off?
they just go everywhere, don't they? You get a right mess. But
Mm.
Mm.
yeah, this is a really nice looking add-on. Very good. Okay.
Great. So in terms of appearance, what do we think for a score?
Looks like a nice cheese. It's got nice kind of different colours on the rind, which is obviously pretty.
Yeah, I think it's an attract. I'm looking at the beyond the rind, looking at the cheese itself. The paste looks very even.
Yeah, very,
Mhm.
very good.
No defects. Nice color.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a. If that was on a cheese board, I'd be drawn to that one straight away. Looks good.
Give us a number then.
I would say 8.5.
Yeah, should we go 8.5? Happy with
8.5.
that?
Marvellous. Right. Aroma.
Mm.
I am picking up, like fermenty notes, like kind of.
Yeah, I'm getting some kind of yeasty, fermenty, especially on the rind.
Yeah. I've got quite a large patch of where those flowers are there at the bottom, and that is very yeasty. That very.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I have too. Yeah, that's definitely more intense.
I'm just going to cut the cheese and have a little sniff inside.
Mm.
It smells quite like like those lactic kind of notes, those kind of fresh.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not very.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's quite like curdy notes to it.
Mm.
It is, yeah. No, kind of feeling the texture of it, that kind of marries up a bit because it definitely feels younger than the other
Yeah.
we've had in the class. Oh, nice. You put a number to that?
You kind of know.
Go on then.
I'm still thinking in the 8s.
Yeah, maybe an 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Texture-wise?
Got a nice bounce. Nice and
Mm.
One of the softest of the 3 in this class we've had.
Yeah.
It's snapping exactly the same as the other 2.
Yeah.
Nice bend, then snap.
How's the mouth feel?
Slightly more chewy initially.
A little bit of tiny bit of graininess, crunchiness in there as well,
Yeah.
which is nice. Adds a little bit of in contrast to the soft
Texture.
texture. Yeah.
Quite an intense flavour. Going to the flavour, not be doing it. Very smooth, isn't it?
Yeah, nice mouthfeel. Like
Mm.
that.
So overall for texture?
Maybe an 8 again.
Risk of repeating ourselves?
Mm. That's just it's delivering consistently
Yeah.
in all areas so far, hasn't it? And we've had a bit of a sneaky preview of the flavour as well. So
Mm.
I always think with cheese like this, the downside in terms of flavour is I don't ever get any flavour from the petals or whatever they are on the outside, the flowers. I never get it. Doesn't bring anything to the cheese.
it doesn't have much, does it?
Therefore, it makes you question: does it need the flowers? Would it improve? Would it not make the cheese be? It's not improved by the flowers. Maybe,
Mm.
maybe a natural rind or something like that.
Mm.
Imagine that would start to give it very different characteristics then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it probably has been like number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, there's always room for, visual point of difference, isn't there? We talked before about orange red cheeses, they just stand out. There's nothing in the flavour there, but they just visually are more appealing.
It's got a lovely flavour though.
Again, I think it adds to that idea of expectation being such an important part of the thing, is that how it looks quite often influences how you're going to approach it and how you're going to taste it in a way.
But Simon, you're right. There's not a really discernible difference between the paste and the rind in terms of flavour.
I've just had a little taste from that really dense patch, and there's a bit of really dark yellow there. This must have been imparted from some of the flavours on the outside, some of the things on the inside. Actually, it tastes quite nice there. It's adding that different flavour. Almost like that kind of tea note. I know that sounds silly, but that kind of black tea kind of herbaceous.
Right. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I found a similar bit, and there is there. It's just got a bit more strength and flavour to that on there.
More tannin. I think that's coming from those peppers.
Just wondering whether I'd like to have seen more of that all around. Maybe more of the coating. It's very mellow.
But that's a different flavour profile. So actually, it's not always a bad thing.
Yeah, and actually, that might make it a bit overpowering if you had more of that everywhere. I think it's really. I don't want to use the words easygoing because it's not. That doesn't sound as good as it is. It's very mellow. It's very Moorish. It's I defy people not to like this because of that.
Yeah.
You get people who come in and say, "Oh, I don't really like cheese. This would be one I could reach for," and say, "Try some of that, and I'll convert you."
I'm going to start. I think it might be a solid 7 for me for this.
Yeah.
Steve, 7?
Yeah, happy with 7.
Great stuff. Righty ho. Well, that brings us to the end of this bit of a class where we've judged all 3 cheeses, and all I've got to do is work out the running order, which shouldn't be too difficult considering there's 3 of them. So in 3rd place, we have F6119. And then in 2nd place, the one we've just had, which is F61183. And the winner of this category is F61026, which was the first cheese we tasted, with 38.5 points, which is very good indeed. So that concludes this particular class. So all I can need to really do is to say thanks very much to Butler's Farmhouse Cheeses and Peter's Yard for providing us with crackers. Thank you so much to our judges, Simon and Steve. Obviously, we've got the category finals, which are on Tuesday, the 14th of May, and the grand final on Wednesday, the 15th of May, revealing the best British cheeses and the awards that recognise talented, passionate people in our industry that we are. And then the award for the Supreme Champion will be on that final day for 2024. So that's the end of this one. So thank you very much indeed for your time, guys. And we'll see you on the next one.